Good morning, and welcome to Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. Quien quiera que sea, quien quiera que ame, donde quiera que esté en su vida, están bienvenidos aquí. If you are new to SMUUCh and want to know more about our church, please fill out our Get in Touch form using the link in our video description. Or, if you are interested in learning more about Unitarian Universalism, please join our Just the Basics class next week after the service. For all of you joining us live this morning, feel free to start posting your joys and sorrows now if you would like the names to be read during the candle lighting. And now, a few announcements from our minister.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Rose, the minister of SMUUCh. It is a joy to see you and an honor to be broadcast into your homes. I have a few announcements today. The first is that in a few weeks you will receive a letter from the church asking you for your annual pledge amount. We have entitled this annual stewardship campaign the Dandelion Campaign because this humble, powerful flower rejuvenates the soil for all the other plants. We are in a unique situation this year because our reach has broadened with this here internet presence. So if you are joining us exclusively online, we ask that you consider giving to the Dandelion Campaign as well, both letting us know who you are because you're a mystery to us and making it more possible for us to keep this ministry online. You'll hear more about this in the coming weeks. Secondly, a few announcements about religious education. Starting April 4th, we will have a full all-ages RE program running outside, including parent and family support. Having an outdoor ministry is a first for our church and has required a great deal of care and volunteer support, so we are very excited to be able to offer to serve families safely right now, as we know how difficult the pandemic has been on all the kiddos and all the parents. If you would like to get your kids into RE but don't know how to find that info, you must fill out the Get in Touch form below so that we can get those kids outside, making meaning and spending time with peers and the wonderful RE staff and volunteers. Please get in touch even if you want them to get connected online, like to Children's Chapel. Now, speaking of Children's Chapel, last week I had the privilege of joining the kids on Sunday, and boy, am I glad I did. We have an elementary school teacher, our worship associate, Miss Sarah Mendez, who has all sorts of technology for teaching and participation online, and I think your kids would really enjoy it. But there's something special that we've been doing at Children's Chapel that I want to tell you about, and that is allowing the children to choose our monthly Donate the Plate. Here's how it works. They are given two options, which are approved by the Donate the Plate committee, and then the kids get to vote. And then we as a church follow their lead in our charitable giving. There will still be times when we give to the organizations that we have an annual commitment to. But for example, for March, this month, it was a tight race. But the kids have chosen Ernie Miller Nature Center for us to give to. So on the fourth Sunday of the month, we will do our Donate the Plate as usual, but you can do it online at any time. Lastly, please join us today for the nominating committee listening session in place of fellowship hour right after the service. We need skilled, thoughtful leadership here at church, and we would love it if you stepped up. Because together we are better. Together we are a courageous church. Together we are a courageous country, a courageous globe. This morning, before I came into the sanctuary, I took some extra time to walk the grounds of our church just by myself, quietly, to enjoy the morning light and the plants in their early spring state. As I walked, I tried to notice my thoughts and be intentional about taking the time to clear the mind before I came to worship. Come, let us worship. Please join us for our opening hymn, number 1000, Morning Has Come.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon your face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
It's chalice lighting time! All you need is a candle, a spark, and some sort of special chalice. And some parental supervision.
Please join me as we light our chalice and affirm that love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another. Hi, Piglet.
Hi, Miss Sarah.
I'm so glad to see you, but you look a little nervous.
I am nervous. It feels like there's some things changing about the pandemic. Oh, I said pandemic just a second. I need to get my... Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Does hand sanitizer make you feel better?
Yeah, I feel better. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you know how to help yourself feel better.
Yeah. Miss Sarah,
Yeah,
are you vaccinated?
I am.
Did it hurt?
The first one hurt a little bit. Some people felt sick after their shot, but none of my teacher friends or I have had more than just a really sore red arm.
Oh.
The second one didn't hurt at all.
Really?
Really?
Wow. Am I going to get vaccinated, Miss Sarah?
Well, Piglet, you're a possum.
No.
Possums are like tier 10.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm just staying really socially distant. I live in the garage by myself, and when I steal the eggs, I make sure no one's around. So, do you think I'm going to be okay?
As long as you keep doing all of those things and everyone else keeps doing all those things, you probably will be okay, Piglet.
Now that you're vaccinated, can you take off your mask?
No, Piglet. I still have to keep my distance, wear my mask, use all my sanitizer that I carry on my belt.
Oh.
Well, because we don't know if I could get someone else sick.
Oh. Okay, so even though vaccinations are happening, we're all still being really careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can feel a little more, less nervous once you have the
Nervous? Oh,
vaccine.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry, Piglet.
Nervous.
So I feel a little
nervous.
less nervous today.
There we go.
But I don't want to risk hurting anyone else.
Oh, okay.
So I have to keep my mask. I have to use my sanitizer and keep my distance still.
Did you get vaccinated because you're a teacher?
I did.
Oh,
That'll help us go back to school faster.
yeah. Well, I feel better talking to you, and I bet everybody out there's feeling a little bit nervous. And I don't know how my fellow kids feel. It's hard to wear the mask. Masks don't even fit me. See, I have this funny nose.
Yeah, and that's really hard when you're a kid because the masks don't always fit very well and they slip off your nose. And grown-ups will tell you, cover up your nose, but it's not because they're mad. They know it sometimes slips and they're reminding you because after a while you don't even feel your mask you don't notice it anymore, right?
Right. So, well, I don't know because I can't wear a mask. They haven't made possum masks.
Yeah, they don't
yet.
fit over your ears very well.
Yeah, my ears face forward.
That's hard, Piglet.
Yeah. Well, so what I'm hearing you say is we're all just reminding each other to stay safe still.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that makes me happy. I
Just
was
keep doing what
nervous.
you're doing, Piglet.
Okay,
And
living in the
it's
garage.
good that you're asking questions and talking about how you feel.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for talking to me, Miss Sarah.
Anytime, I'm glad you came, Piglet.
Bye, kids.
This is the time where we expand the caring love of our community, where we draw to heart and mind those in our midst who are struggling and those who feel the sweet relief of their burdens easing. Today, we think of all the families with school-age children who have officially gone a year without the support of in-person school. We keep in our hearts the teachers who are double-stretched, the parents who are double-stretched, the children whose lives were upended, the friends who have not been able to see each other, the ways that many kids have slipped behind or are unable to do online learning, and for all the arts and music and science education, which is so necessary for the soul, but does not easily translate online. And of course, we think of all the kids who get regular meals or social worker assistance through their schools, and for all the people who spent the last year fighting for the safety of our children, their parents, and their grandparents. We think of everyone who lives in a state where the mask mandate is being lifted, and we extend our sincerest wish that all will continue to have patience, continue to stay safe, keeping in mind those who are most vulnerable, those who can never get the vaccine and depend on herd immunity, and of course, the children and their parents, the children for whom vaccines are still even in trial. As always, we rejoice over the exquisite beauty in this world, as small or life-changing as each piece of beauty might be. Please comment in the comment section of the live chat your joy or sorrow. Remember, this moment of sharing happens online and remains public for all viewers joining us today. To bring us further together into the beloved community, we will read aloud some of the posted joys and sorrows while I light the candles.
This morning we have a joy that the guests at Project 1020 had the opportunity to receive COVID vaccinations last week. Diane has a candle of sorrow for the upcoming one-year anniversary of her mother's death. Patrice has a candle of joy for all of all of RE has been able to get their COVID inoculation. Everyone has felt large relief and are excited to start RE in the spring. And we will light the remaining candles for all the joys and sorrows posted in the chat and for those that remain unspoken in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts.
Take a moment to center yourself. Take a deep breath. When we meditate, we are not ever going to be able to clear our minds completely of our thoughts, but this practice helps us become more aware and calm our thoughts. So we'll just take 1 second to breathe deeply. This will be our main time in the service to find this peace within. May we be intentional with the words we think. May we find the time and the strength to stop and breathe throughout the day, to notice when our thoughts have become negative or unkind, and do the gentle work to form new thoughts, to be in right relationship with each other, in the world, and ourselves, even within. Blessed be, and amen. Please join us for a reflective hymn or remain in your meditative state as we sing to you hymn number 95, There is More Love Somewhere.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There's more peace. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
Our reading today comes from just a regular guy named Frank Outlaw, who was the president of a grocery store chain in the Carolinas in the 70s. Watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Watch your actions. They become habits. Watch your habits. They become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny.
We've all changed a lot in the last year. These were the words of a friend whom I recently ran into on the sidewalk. I said to her, "I barely recognize you." And then she said, "We've all changed a lot in the last year." She had had a baby during quarantine, and I could tell in her eyes that she had struggled significantly with her new parenthood away from her family, that she was suffering pretty heavily in general. And she is not alone. As we come upon the 1-year anniversary of the lockdown, as the earth has turned a whole way round since this disease began to sweep the globe, we've all changed a lot in the last year. Although, of course, so much has been gained in new endeavors, in technology, in awareness, much has been lost. 500,000 people have been lost. Education and opportunities have been lost. And for the population as a whole, there has been a loss in mental health and physical health. Yes, we've all changed a lot in the last year. We've lost muscle mass, we've lost range of motion, we've lost a sense of excitement for the future, we've lost faith in some structures that be. And so, as spring emerges, I want to urge us to really turn ourselves towards an examination of our mental health and our physical health, to take an inventory of how we are, being gentle with ourselves, knowing that we're all in a different place this March than we were last March, that we've been through something traumatic on several levels. We've spent a lot of time suffering by ourselves through massive collective crises. And so what I want to talk to you about today is our total health, but as is shown in our reading today, it all starts with our mental health. And so, how are you? How are you really? How is it in there in the silent sanctuary of your mind? I bring this up because I believe the words that we think are incredibly important. That the way your mind is has a cascading effect on the rest of your life. So my question for you is, what sort of words do you say to yourself about the situations you are in? At work, with your children, about your own self? I ask this because those thoughts become our words, and our words become our actions, and those become our habits, which become our character, which becomes our destiny. And so I wonder, are there thoughts that you say to yourself unknowingly as you go throughout your day? What are the words that you say to yourself that are binding, restricting, negative, or even damning? I began thinking about this actually because while I was visiting with my friend on the street that I told you about earlier, she kept saying over and over, just peppered through the conversation, she kept saying the words, "I'm not a very good mom. I'm not a very good mom." Just over and over. And we got to talking about it. And she said that she actually says this phrase over and over in her head as well when she's around her child, mostly. And I think that a lot of us have those words that we say to ourselves. Maybe words like, "No one loves me," or even, "I want to die." Maybe they're, "I'll never get out of this," or "I hate everything," or "I suck," or "this is going nowhere." Maybe it's looking at your kids who are on their 8th hour of screen time and thinking they are not okay. In this same vein, another minister told me that she's been saying the word hate a lot and that she never used to use that word. And so I want us to just take a moment to do a little bit of work around this, to identify some of those negative thoughts. So this is something that you're going to do on your own, but if you have a piece of paper near you, go ahead and get it. But if not, you can just do it right in your head easily. We're going to have a short meditative moment here where I want you to identify a limiting thought that you have, words that you say to yourself. And now we're going to do a little bit of reworking. And you have to do this on your own too, but I feel pretty strongly that this little moment could offer you a tool that just might support you in your mind, in the words you use, and then have that cascading effect on the rest of your life. So choose one word in your phrase that is particularly damning, and then identify the opposite of it. Replacing a word like hate with love, a word like cannot with can, never with always, nowhere with somewhere. And then say your new phrase 3 times over and over in your head to cement it as a little affirmation. I'm going to do it too. And then the next time you notice yourself having that limiting thought, go ahead and change your wording. Because all too often, we get focused on the habit itself. We get focused on what we are doing and what we need to do. We try to force ourselves to have a different action, try to will ourselves to have a different character, when really we need to start at the root, the word root of it all, and bring it back to the very words we use with ourselves. Because the way you talk about yourself and the way you talk to yourself really matters. Because you really matter. And the way you feel about yourself really matters. How you treat yourself makes a difference to me, makes a difference to you, to your family, and to the community. Even a mindset shift can make a grueling time meaningful and spiritually deep. All you have to do is follow the formula of finding a negative word in your little negative limiting mantras that you say to yourself and replace it with a positive one, and then repeat that phrase instead. And you know, when I called my friend to check in on her about using this story in the sermon, she said that even just having a 10-minute passing conversation about her way of using words with herself had given her enough perspective to notice how she repeats things to herself that are negative. And I could hear in her voice that she had more peace. And I honestly see this principle working everywhere I go. I see people who decide they're not going to react to their family members, and then their family visits go smoother. I've seen people who believe in themselves despite all the hurts and mistakes and addictions, and you know what? They do well. I've seen people get in shape, and you know that took a lot of positive self-talk. And so as we come upon this anniversary of our lockdown, I invite you to celebrate all that you have come through. To look at your kids, bedraggled and emotionally distraught, and think, we're making it. We are making it through this. To look at yourself and think, I am so resilient. To look at others and see not their flaws, but the ways that they have defied the odds. To look at the environment and say, we're finally talking about it. To see people who are experiencing homelessness and to think you are so strong and persevering. For it is my sincerest hope that throughout this grueling process of the pandemic and grieving and finding a path forward to rejuvenation of all that has been lost, that we each do the work that we need to do, that we become very loving and encouraging and patient with ourselves, knowing that it all flows from there, because I do think that the end of our reading has one more clause, which is to watch your destiny, because it is our destiny. How you treat yourself, your body, and your soul will have a profound effect on those around you. Your willingness to even find something to encourage in yourself will mean that individually you do better, and then together we will all have a collective willingness to come out of this pandemic in a paced, self-loving, safe manner so that healing and rejuvenation can occur. So if nothing else, listen to these words from my lips. You are enough. You will grow. You can do it. They are going to pull through. This is going somewhere. She can change her situation. There is more love somewhere. Rejuvenation is possible. We can come through this pandemic limping and bedraggled, but with the thing which is most precious intact, which is the willingness to imagine, the gall to be hopeful, and the strength to choose our own destinies, one thought at a time. Blessed be, and amen.
The work of the church depends on us. In the context of global and national strife, SMUUCh can create and foster space for connection and healing. We invite you to give generously to support the ongoing work of the church. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values.
I am not done changing, out on the run, changing. I may be old and I may be young, but I am not done changing. I met someone changing, we had some fun changing. Sometimes I wonder if she'll be the one when I am done changing. Some of us stopped running, some of us went on home, some of us don't got one, so we'll build one of our own. Friends behind their fences, looking at me so strange, wondering if I'm gonna come to my senses, but I'm still changing. I can't change my ways. I see the sky changing, reminds me of my changing. Wish I could chain me a rope round the sun, 'cause I'm not done changing. Time's been talking to me, whispering in my ear, saying follow your heart till it tears you apart. But hearts keep changing, hearts keep changing. I am not done changing, out on the run changing. I may be old and I may be young, but I'm not done changing, changing, changing.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please join us in the closing hymn, number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I keep on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
This week, I invite you to rewrite some of the cyclical thoughts that you think to yourself, about those around you, and the world. Go in peace. Blessed be, and amen.